Peace and blessings this morning, whatever time of day it may be for you all who are watching. I want to thank you for being here, for taking the time out your schedule. And I know everyone's busy. I do. I know everyone's truly busy. So I genuinely appreciate, those who take the time out to just watch my videos and perhaps get something from them. All the feedback has been positive. All the feedback has been motivating. And so I will continue to push these videos out and try to push them as far as I can. My aim and my desire is to put them in the hands and in front of the people who may truly benefit from them. And so, hopefully for those of you who may be watching in jails, prisons, juvie facilities, I ask that you take these words seriously because they're from someone that actually did that time, that lived that life. And, I'm here to tell about it. So today I want to speak on the visiting room. The visiting room. That's one of the greatest places in prison. That's the visiting room. Truly. The cell is a good place. The cell is a place of isolation. The cell is a place of contemplation, rest, relaxation, but it's also a place of confinement. It's a place of fear, oftentimes, because you don't know when them doors are going to pop. I've known guys that have had roommates that they were so uncomfortable in themselves. I mean, scared. A lot of them were scared to move around. The cellies were tense. The cellies were overly aggressive. And I knew guys that couldn't even get out the cell. Like, the only recourse was either fight or check in, which is to go to the hole. And I knew a lot of guys that checked in. I knew a lot of guys. They just didn't want to fight their cell. It wasn't that they were always fearful of losing the fight or whatever, but some guys just didn't want to deal with that hassle. And I knew guys that, would just check in, man, go to the sergeant, and I'll be like, man, get me out of there, give me my bags, and they'll go pack their own stuff sometime, and man, just go to the hole. So, the cell, yes, it definitely has its pros and cons, but that visiting room, it's a wonderful place. I've seen guys change. I've seen guys who've been in the population, and they'll be, the toughest guys in the world. I'm talking about, bad guys, killers, thumpers, fighters, and troublemakers alike. I've seen them go in that visiting room, man, and sit in front of their mothers. Oh, man, they melt. They hugging, they smiling from ear to ear. Like, hold on, that's not the same dude that, wants to bully the TV. That's not the same guy that's always, walking around, man, lip curled sideways on his face, sitting there with his mom grinning and giggling, looking like a big kid, right? And in the visiting room, more often than not, that is where, at least in front of, the kids and our parents, or grandparents, there's no pretension. Your grandmother doesn't care how thorough you think you are, or how thorough you actually may be. She doesn't care about that. She doesn't like that you're sitting in prison. And so, she's going to talk to you, and she's going to talk to the human in you. So I've seen guys sit over there, man, and really become who they're supposed to be. They're honest for the most part, with regard to, and their vibe, their feelings. They may, lie about not getting in trouble. They may lie about going to school and trying to work on improving themselves. I've seen guys do that too, go over there and lie to their people all day. But the smile is genuine. The feeling of happiness is genuine. And so I've seen children cry, at the top of their lungs because their fathers are holding the whole visiting room. And when they say visiting hours are terminated, and the mother has to grab the child or the grandmother has to grab the child and take the child out. I've seen children cry. I've seen guys sit there, and usually guys, when the visiting room, the visiting hours are up and everyone's kissing and hugging and, making their, their parting ways. A lot of times guys will rush the window because they want to get that last glimpse of their people walking out. So their little windows, depending upon what prison you're in, they're usually windows that allow you to see the visitors going out. And so guys will rush the window and just look, Some prisons have the rec yard by the parking lot. So some guys will come out the visitor room, literally go on the rec yard. They already weren't on the rec yard before the visitation. They will be on the gate, looking at the parking lot, just looking at people as they go, you know, and it's not always lusting. A lot of guys are, you know, honestly looking at the females who are coming in, you know, their outfits and whatever. But sometimes it's just the hope that you're going to get a visit, because sometimes, you know, you even know you're going to get a visit or you're just hoping. So we used to have a place on Greensville where it was kind of elevated a little bit, this particular unit. Was it C unit? One of the units, one of the ground, the rec yard was kind of elevated towards the corner. And so guys would call it Hope Hill, you know, Hope Hill. And so, you know, people were staying along the gate and just staying there, man, talking, you know, and looking at the visitors come and go, And, you know, that was often a great place, man, you know, and a lot of people didn't consider what you all, those who came to visit, and there are many who are watching this that came to visit me, man, my brothers, my sister, my father. I saw my mother a couple of times, sadly, in my 25 years. She was only able to come see me maybe, I believe, three times in 25 years. You know, I didn't get all bitter. She didn't have a license. She couldn't drive. And so, you know, but I was blessed to, you know, see her. And so I always enjoyed my visits. There were friends that came and saw me, man, and they made my day, you know. Some came from far away. Some came from as far as Chicago, you know, and you know, Wisconsin, and, you know, I'm deep in Virginia. Some came from as far as D.C., you know, and it often made my day. I mean, it made my day. And the craziest thing is what people don't see, because, you know, people on the street, when they're getting ready for visits, I'm sure, you know, they taking showers, they're getting dressed, you know, and what have you. I had, you know, people come from Texas, man, friends come from Texas, man. And like, it always made my day. And I'm talking about on our end, man, we take a shower that morning, Saturday or Sunday. We take a shower. We don't have oil, because they sell oil in canteen, you know, prayer oil, you know, for you to put on or whatever, but it's watered down, it's bootleg. So guys, you know, that come from other spreads, other prisons, or guys that have oil, you know, you go to them and try to buy some, man, you know. And I'm talking about, there's a thing called a dram bottle. I don't have one. It's probably about as big as a dram bottle. Is probably about as big as this, you know, about this big. And that can sell for $10 if your oil is genuine. And even, you know, guys used to get oil, literally take clipper oil and add it to the oil to cut it, to thin it, to make as much money off of that product, man. You had some wild guys in there, man. One guy, man, he, you know, because I was born, you know, in the Nation of Islam, so, you know, I've been surrounded by oils all my life, man, and smell good, as we call it, man. And guys would come to me, some of them be like, man, smell this, bro, Khalid, man, you know what it smell like? And I'm like, okay, I smell Kush. And I smell something else, you know. Kush is you know, today it's weed, but it's also a fragrance of oil. And I'm like, I smell something else. And all you have to do is really look at the bottle, and at the top, you can see a small separation, you know, and it might, you know, and it was oil. If you burn it, it'll burn a little bit of blue. And so guys, you know, would do that. But nonetheless, guys would put oil on, you know, and, you know, go over there, man, with their shoes all clean. And if you could, in some places, you could wear your clothes. You know, you could purchase a pair of Levi's or something like that. Or even if you had the state jeans, you're ironing them, you know, you get them flat. You got your shirt all creased up. Guys walk around looking like they woke up in their clothes. But visiting day, nah, they got shirts, man, that were creased, look like a professional cleaners did it. And so I've seen that, you know. But the visiting room was a place, man, where we enjoyed our visits. I know I did, and I thank everybody who's watching this who did come to visit me. You know, it always meant the world to me. It always meant the world to me. You know, cousins, nieces, man. One of my nieces, my oldest niece, when she was little, you know, I remember she started coming to see me in the jail, and she would put her hand on the glass, man, and it would always touch my heart, you know. So as she grew up coming to see me, you know, she would run and like rub the waves in the back of my head when I had hair, and she would rub the waves and hide behind my chair and everything, man. And it would make my day, you know, being able to hold the little ones, you know. And when they left, man, most people, when they leave, first, you know, we run through the gauntlet, because I know you visitors, those that come and visit, we don't consider what you go through. You know, we don't consider the shakedown to our grandmother, where someone is actually, you know, rubbing her breast, her bra strap, you know, rubbing in between her legs. A female more often than not, of course, but still, we don't consider that there's a degree of humiliation and sacrifice in coming to see us. We don't really sit back. We so busy enjoying the visit, hoping you done brought some change so you can go to the vending machine and buy some sodas and some cookies and what have you, that we not even considering the $30, $40 that you put in that gas tank, that $40, $50 that you may have used to get a hotel so that you can come not only one day, but 2 days, or stay comfortably you know, overnight before you travel, you know what I'm saying, a long way. We don't really consider that. And I know this because some guys, man, will go back to the pods and talk more about what the women, the other guys' visits, other guys had visitors that they wouldn't consider, man, you know, man, my mom, man, she came all this way, or my mom, man, she getting old, or my mom this, my mom that. I mean, there are those conversations, believe me. But a vast majority of guys, man, remain selfish. And I'm not sure about the women, but I'm sure you have those that are selfish too. But you have so many guys that were so selfish along their bits. I used to be discussing, I'm like, how does this man get a visit every Saturday, every Sunday? And he doesn't even consider, you know, what his people go through. He just gets a visit. Like, and if they didn't come, man, you had guys that wouldn't even come out to sell. They would feel so bad. And it wasn't because they didn't see their people, because they grew accustomed to going over there, eating the food, laughing, talking about everybody in the neighborhood. And, you know, they very rarely considered what their people had to go through to come and see them, and the toll it took. But it took a toll out of us as well. Took a toll out of us. You know, when we leave that visiting room, we go through a few things. You know, we get shook down. First, you have to get naked. You open your mouth, you move your tongue around, you have to squat, you have to pull up your genitals. Sometimes you have to spread your behind, you know, you have to cough because they're trying to make sure there are no drugs or whatever, you know, in your body. And, you know, then you get dressed and you go back to the pod, you know, and guys look at that as a small sacrifice. But before I left, there was a great changing of visiting room policy. They took away the fact that we could have clothes, because guys would put holes like in your waistline where your belt goes, right behind there, that thick part of your pants, guys would slit. And, you know, there were holes, you know, there was you know, the material is folded, so there's a hole there, and guys would, you know, put things there. You had guys, man, they just were genius. They knew how to put drugs, you know, in their shoes. Some visiting rooms, people would bring cell phones in, man, and secrete them in various areas of the visiting room. And so when there was an activity usually that used the visiting room that night, you know, oftentimes it was church or, you know, some function, guys would go over there, man, and wait till everybody's kind of leaving, or go close to where they knew the phone was taped or bubble gummed, you know, to certain areas, and guys would go over there and tell someone to hold them down, which means, you know, block them. So they may have two guys like kind of standing side by side or acting like they're having a conversation while the third guy, man, is retrieving, you know, his products. So, you know, but when I left, they not only took away the fact that we could wear clothes, they gave us jumpers, tan jumpers, but the jumpers did not zip from the front. They zipped from the back. So a lot of guys I know, there are actually two that stand out. One had been down for 40 years. He actually told his visitor, don't come. He suspended his own visitor list because he didn't like that feeling. It gave him a sense of humiliation, like extreme. He thought that they were trying to feminize us, and that, you know, I believe it was a security issue. But still, you had guys that really felt that way. And this guy, you know, he did not accept any visits, told his people don't come and see him because the jumper zipped from the back. Though they have these shoes out here called Crocs. They're like slippers. They have holes at the top. They're rubber, some. And now we wear orange Crocs in the visiting room. Orange Crocs in the visiting room. Not just that, when you come out, there's a pole. It is a tall, about 4 feet. It has lights along the length of it. And you have to spin around, you know, you have to twirl around the pole. And if you have anything mechanical on your phone or something like that, you know, watch or whatever, it will go off. That's one thing. Two, you have to get naked. That's also still a reality. You have to take all your clothes off, do the same thing, you know, open your mouth, you know, switch your tongue around, bend over, lift your genitals, you know, cough, etc. And then once you put your clothes back on, you sit in this chair. It's a big mechanical chair. It almost looks like a big throne because it's large. But when you sit on it, you actually put your arms there and you roll your neck this way and that way, and the chair can sense or detect mechanical devices, phones. Again, you have to go through all of this when you're leaving the visiting room, you know, and so there's a lot. There's a lot. So those of you who may be watching, who have visited, I know you have endured a lot. I know when you left, a part of you stayed. I know a part of you stayed because you had to look at the one you love, no matter who it was, and you had to think, I don't know when they're coming home. You know, even if you thought you knew when they were coming home, you had to think, I don't know when they're coming home. And, you know, I love them dearly and I hate to see them in this predicament. You had to leave. And when you leave, I'm sure there was a somber note. I'm sure there was a lot of weight on your chest, in your heart, in your mind. And you leave and, you know, you go about your life as best you can. And it's the same for us. I've seen guys, man, come back to the pod. And of course, you know, they guys, they're like, yeah, man, that was such and such back. Yeah, you know it. Oh, and the guys might be like, who was over there? You know, oh, man, they was right. Boy, they was looking right. I'm going to holler at you, though. And they go in the cell, they get the door shut, and they'll put a coat in their door, a shirt up, and they sit on that bed, and they think, you know, they think, when will I see my people again? You know, when will I see my people again? Will I get out there? You know, will things be the same? These are the thoughts that ran through my mind. You know, I've had people come to see me, and I never saw them again. Never heard from them again, you know, for different reasons. But so again, shout out to everybody that came to see us. Shout out to everybody that goes to see someone or even writes someone. Shout out to everybody, man, that just wants to do for those who are incarcerated. And for those who may be watching this who are incarcerated, sit back, man, and think, you know, think. Before you continue to act up, before you continue to disrespect, before you continue to put out, you know, yourselves in positions where your people have to sacrifice their time, their money, their energy, and their lives. Because when we get locked up, we're not the only ones in there. Yeah, we're the physical ones in there. But it's someone else paying for that lawyer. It's someone else coming to visit. It's someone else buying them stamps. It's someone else spending that gas. It's someone else raising your child. It's someone else doing everything that we should be doing. So before we, you know, go on living foolishly, let us begin to consider more, you know, who's affected by, you know, the mistakes we made. You know, sorry I was so long-winded, truly. Again, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for sticking with me. Thank you all for taking this journey with me. I appreciate you. I truly do, from the bottom of my heart. If you would, you know, like the video, share the video, you know, tell someone about the video, send it to somebody, you know, and maybe they'll watch it. Maybe they can get something from it. Maybe they'll learn something that may help them strengthen their bond with somebody that may be on the inside or someone that has been on the inside who's now on the outside. This is us just trying to learn one another. This is us trying to learn about people. And so again, thank you all. I appreciate you all. You know, take care of yourselves and continue to dig deep and become the best you can be.